3, 2, 1, and we're live.
Hey everyone, if anyone's even here, I don't know, but welcome to
Right.
Batman Athenaeum. So obviously it is a doom night and everyone's real stressed out. So no matter what side you are on, it's a dark time. So we decided why not walk on the dark side and go to DC. Batman Athenaeum was designed to take the most beloved Batman stories and put them in one continuity, one that was consistent and coherent, so you didn't have to worry about what version of which character, or is this character alive or dead in this continuity, have these characters met yet, because obviously there's been so many remakes and reboots and resets and fusions and all sorts of stuff that sometimes can and can get a little fudgy. It's also easier for newbies to come in. Don't worry if you don't know Batman, this will be accessible to you, I promise. So today we're going to be doing episodes 1 and 2, and we have some very talented actors here today. Would you guys like to say who you would be voicing today?
You should probably introduce who should talk first.
That's probably a good idea. Cade, why don't you go first?
Well, hello there. My name is Cade. In episode 1, you will hear me as a bunch of random extras, and when we get to episode 2, you will hear me as teenager Tommy Elliot. That is all.
Carl, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Karl G. Brooks, and I will be your narrator through this evening.
James, you're up.
Hi, my name is James Riley. I will be voicing Thomas Wayne.
Jazzy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jazzy Oliver. I will be providing the voice for teenaged Harvey Dent.
Dylan.
Hello, my name is Dylan. You can find me at Night Kiwi, and I'll be playing Alfred.
Yoshi.
Hi everyone, this is Yoshi. I'm going to be playing teenage Bruce Wayne. I won't show up till episode 2.
Joel.
Hello, this is Joel, aka Shinkin Rui. I get to be Detective Gordon and later Commissioner Gordon. Right? Is that the right? I hope I got the title right.
Yeah, although he's captain in between those two.
And then Captain, and then Commissioner. Got it.
You got it. Tay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Tay, and in episode 2, I'm going to be Teen Gilda Arkham.
Sophie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sophie. I'm going to be playing as Basil Karlo in the role of the Grey Ghost. And for episode 2, I will be young Oswald Cobblepot.
Stephanie.
We can't hear you, Stephanie.
Be a mic issue.
Okay, my name is Stephanie, and I'll be playing Martha Wayne in episode 1 and Barbara's mother in episode 2.
Cloudy.
Hi, I'm Cloudy, and I'm going to be playing a whole bunch of extras.
Surfin.
My name is John Archer. In episode 1, I will be voicing Joe Chill. In episode 2, I will be voicing David Kane.
So I'm Lucia, and I'm going to be voicing young little boy Tommy Elliot. So we're waiting on Mickey because she is going to be voicing young Bruce Wayne, little boy Bruce Wayne. But I don't know where she is. She got disappeared. But
It's
if
all right.
everyone
We
else,
can always use this time to wait for people to come in.
I would like to ask everyone.
I just tweeted I was narrating, so
to
and with the link.
that you set on push to talk. And if you need the scripts, you can go ahead and find them in the server under sacred text.
Oh boy,
so-
push the talk.
I've never done that before. This is
Well,
exciting.
if you're not going to have a problem with it making background noise, I'll trust you.
I mean,
I
is there
won't,
any
for
background
sure.
noise? Do you hear any background noise on my end? I don't think there's any, so it might be a bit echoey just because I moved the mic to my living room, so...
Then you're probably fine.
No, I'm good.
Mickey joins.
Okay.
Mickey, would you like to introduce yourself and what role you're playing?
Oh, hi, I'm Mickey, and you have his young Bruce, right?
Yes, you're just the little boy, the littlest one.
Boy.
So without any further ado, would you guys like to jump right in with episode 1?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's get into it.
Carl, will you lead us in with your best Batman voice reading the title for us?
Wait, I don't have the script up. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Exterior, Wayne Manor, Garden, Day. 1985.
Read the title first.
Wow, details.
Like Batman needs the Oracle, that's all I'm saying.
What? The title's
Very
not
true.
important.
Very
What
I
are you
just
talking
want to
about?
include the by Lucia Lobosvilla.
You know, let's just jump into
You
it.
know, like an actual audiobook. Yes, absolutely. No,
Two L's
you're right. You're right.
in Spanish, so it's Villa. Lucia Lobosvilla.
Lobosvilla.
I'm Japanese. I don't understand
Oh my
L's.
goodness.
Domo
It's very
arigato,
easy.
Mr. Roboto.
All right,
It's
let's
very
do it.
easy to remember her name. You just rhyme it with tortilla.
Aren't we the professionals?
All right,
Some
let's
of
do it.
us.
Okay, clean slate. Let's go. Action.
Batman, Episode 1, Here in the Garden, by Lucia Lobosvilla. Based on the works of Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Exterior, Wayne Manor, Garden, Day. 1985. A 6-year-old Bruce Wayne runs around playing with his friend at the same age, Thomas Elliot. The two boys seem to be playing cops and robbers, or some variation thereof. Bruce runs, hiding behind a tree, only for Tommy to jump down beside him from the tree and make finger gun noises at him.
Pew pew. I got you. You're so dead.
No fair, Tommy. We're not allowed to climb on trees. Mom said it's dangerous.
Oh, do you see your mommy here? You're such a baby.
I'm not a baby. I'm 6 years old.
Wow, baby.
You're 6 too.
6.5. You don't even know what danger means, baby.
Tommy tags Bruce.
Okay, now you be the cop and try to catch me.
Okay.
Bruce covers his face, leaning against the tree, and starts counting to 10. Tommy makes a break for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
While Bruce is counting, we follow Tommy. He runs, grabbing a short fence and hopping over until he reaches a huge sign, barely stopping before he rams into it. The sign is large, old, and imposing. Tommy is taken back and stares at it.
7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, criminals, here I come.
Bruce looks around. Tommy is nowhere to be found.
Tommy, where'd you go? Did you go inside again? No fair.
Bruce checks the trees. Just as he's getting frustrated, he notices the fence, looking a bit off kilter. He approaches the fence, gripping it and setting it back upright. He walks over to the small gate and lets himself in properly.
Tommy, where are you?
Finally, Bruce comes across Tommy leaning against the sign.
We're not supposed to be back here.
Says who?
Bruce points to the very sign Tommy is leaning against.
The sign?
Tommy turns to read the sign.
I didn't even see it though. Danger. Keep out.
The sign shows a picture of what looks like a giant mouth. The sign The sign shows a picture of what looks like a giant mouth in the ground swallowing something. The sign is old and faded though, and is and the withering makes the whole look far more monstrous than it actually should be, as it was originally painted.
What is that? Is that some kind of monster?
I don't know. It's your house. Let's check it out.
We're not supposed to.
Says who? The sign? It's like 1,000,000 years old. It's probably junk.
We're not allowed.
Hey, you're supposed to be the cop. It's your job to make people follow the rules. I'm the robber. I don't obey the law. So I gotta do it or else I'm not playing the game fair.
Mommy, stop! It's not funny.
You'll have to catch me, copper!
Tommy runs off past the sign. Bruce whines, unsure, but his morals get the better of him as he chases after Tommy.
Tommy, I'm serious. I'm gonna arrest you for real.
You wish, baby. Baby.
You're in so much trouble.
Tommy laughs, but Bruce is quite athletic for his age and catches up, grabbing Tommy right before he almost runs off into the small sinkhole.
Oh, that?
I don't know. It doesn't look safe.
How deep do you think it goes?
I don't know.
Do you think there's a sign monster that lives down there?
Can we go back and get some popsicles now?
You're always such a scaredy cat.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah? Prove it. Curiosity killed the cat, you know. So are you a cat?
Bruce crosses his arms, pouting, but refusing to be called a coward.
Fine.
Bruce uncrosses his arms and inches forward. He's careful, leaning down just slightly to look over the edge. The ground gives way beneath him. Bruce quickly takes several steps back as the mouth of the hole widens. Bruce just barely manages to back up quickly enough to avoid falling in. Bruce breathes a sigh of relief. We see a shot of Bruce's shoes. He suddenly seems to slip, and the ground gives way, making it impossible to regain his balance. Bruce falls into the cavern, Tommy yelling his name after him. Tommy.
Bruce!
Interior. Catacombs beneath Wayne Manor. Bruce comes to in. Oh my god.
We've already been drinking because of the election, so forgive us.
Now, hey.
Wait, we were allowed to drink?
Oh, someone didn't get the memo.
This changes everything.
I'll be right back.
Me too.
I got some dialogue ahead of me.
Wait, Bruce, no, don't go.
You're not allowed to drink.
Hey,
You're 6, you can't do this.
Atmosphere. Let's create the atmosphere. Bruce comes to in the darkness of the catacombs. The ground is damp and rocky. The only thing that broke his fall is the dirt and the grass that crumbled down and fell in with him. If Bruce hadn't landed on the pile of dirt, he very likely would have died. It's very dark, but for the light coming down from the opening above him, it gives the illusion of a spotlight. Bruce is nervous and calls up for help.
Tommy? Help! Tommy! Where are you? Mom? Mommy! Help me!
Bruce sniffles and cries. His cries echo through the catacombs, disturbing the sleeping bats that live there. The bats begin to swarm, surrounding Bruce. Bruce screams in panic, collapsing to the floor and curling up into a ball, crying to hide himself. The bats ram against him and continue to swarm and screech. Bruce has never been so terrified in his life. The bats finally all fly up and out of the catacombs.
Bruce!
Bruce looks up and sees his father, backlit by the sunlight. The world above. It gives the illusion that It gives the illusion he's growling.
Glowing.
Glowing. Ah!
It's okay. He might also be growling.
Dad!
Stay there! I'm coming down!
Thomas Wayne disappears for a moment. Bruce sniffles, whimpering in fear. Bruce looks around. One straggler bat flies out of the pitch blackness and flies into Bruce's face. Bruce screams, flailing his arms, trying to get it out of its way. Thomas comes rappelling down with rock climbing gear. He makes it to the bottom and goes over to Bruce. He kneels to meet Bruce at eye level and takes his arms, stopping his flailing and calming him down.
Bruce! Bruce!
Bruce stops screaming, looking at Thomas.
I'm here.
Bruce throws himself into Thomas's arms. Thomas holds Bruce close, picking him up and standing.
You're all right. I've got you. Are you hurt?
Bats.
You saw bats? Well, we are in their house.
I'm scared.
No, it's okay. They're more scared of you than you are of them. Imagine how scared you'd be if a giant bat fell in through the roof of your room when you were trying to sleep.
Bruce sniffles and giggles a little.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's my son. Now, hold on tight.
Thomas ties Bruce to him and then pulls him up the climbing, back up the hole. The ground gives way a bit, but Thomas kept his cool and kept going up until he gets Bruce out. Exterior, Wayne Manor, garden. Thomas is behind the sign, waiting for them. Thomas comes over, crying Bruce.
I just said it first
Carrying
with
Bruce.
Elliot. Yeah, Tommy Elliott's behind the sign, and Thomas carrying Bruce comes over.
Too many Toms. Let me just say that.
There's only two.
Thank God. Tommy is behind the sign waiting for them. Thomas comes over carrying Bruce.
Mr. Wayne!
I told you to wait behind the fence.
Sorry. Is Bruce okay?
He's fine, Tommy. Thank you for letting me know. I think you should go home now.
Thomas breezes past Tommy, comforting and still whimpering Bruce.
Shh, here. You're all right, Bruce. Hush.
The camera holds on Tommy's face, full of quiet rage as Thomas Wayne walks away from him, not even looking back, all his attention on Bruce. Tommy clenches his fist at his side.
Hush, 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 hush.
Interior, Wayne Manor, kitchen. Bruce Wayne sits on a stool as Martha Wayne treats his scrapes and split lip with antiseptic.
Gotcha,
Last one. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Count of 3. 1, 2.
Martha soaks a cotton ball with alcohol and dabs it on his busted lip.
3. There we go, my brave boy. You did so well, didn't even cry.
Well, not by the time you got to him. Always looking tough for the ladies, eh, chap?
Don't tell him that. You can cry too if you need to, Bruce. There's no shame in it.
Martha hugs Bruce, full of love, kissing his head.
I'm okay.
You are now, but next time you might not be so lucky. You know you're not supposed to be back there.
I'm sorry.
Go easy on him, Thomas. He's been punished enough. What a terrible scare.
Well, how do you think I feel?
You're right. We've all had a frightening day. How about popsicles all around,
Yes, please.
Do you hear that? Such a gentleman. Doesn't even forget his manners after a crisis.
Martha smiles and gets popsicles. As she does so, Thomas comes closer to talk to Bruce alone.
Don't tell your mother about the bats. She almost had a heart attack about the fall alone. I don't need her losing sleep over the possibility of rabies. We'll get you vaccinated in a bit here, once you're all settled.
Shots?
Thomas Wayne shrugs. Thomas Wayne shushes Bruce.
He's like, I don't know.
No, just lifts his elbows up like shrug.
Before long, you'll
Whoa.
say Thomas Wayne shoots Bruce.
Whoa! Whoa!
Isn't that
Dark.
Flashpoint?
That is another Earth. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
This is
I
a
don't like
dark,
how
dark
dark-
timeline.
I don't like how dark this is getting.
This must be the
It's
same.
Christ, guys.
This must
It's
be the same
crisis.
as our 2020
All right,
timeline.
Hey.
Guys.
All right, sorry.
Crisis on In the Kitchen Earth.
The dark timeline where Thomas shoots Bruce
Okay,
and he comes
that's
back
it.
from the
I'm
grave
out.
as Batman.
All right, action.
Thomas Wayne shushes Bruce, giving him a "Come on, really?" look at as Martha comes back with a popsicle for each of them.
Here we go. Orange for Dad, berry for Mom, and cherry for my little hero.
Mom.
You're welcome.
The three of them eat popsicles and enjoy each other's company, relieved that tragedy was averted. The camera zooms out until it's outside the window. Exterior, Wayne Manor, front door. A hand reaches out and rings the doorbell. The door opens. We now get a different date of the screen. 1986. A portly butler has opened the door.
This is me, right? This is one of my extras, Lucia.
Yes, you are Stanley the butler.
Ah, good evening, Mr. Pennyworth.
We cut to look at a man at the door. It's Alfred Pennyworth, looking rough and not at all like the clean-cut gentleman we know him. He's scruffy, bearded, wearing a leather jacket, black turtleneck, and black slacks. He carries nothing but a gray duffel bag.
Have we met?
No, sir. Mr. Wayne has been expecting you. May I take your bag?
I've got it. Thank you.
Tag yourself.
Stan-
Pennyworth.
Stanley lets Alfred in. There's a big party going on. Big banners hanging all around saying Thomas Wayne for mayor. On the table to the side, there is a box of lawn signs saying the same. A second box holding similar buttons, pins, which read Thomas Wayne, Our Knight. Alfred walks over and picks up one of the pins. He frowns at it.
Alfred?
Thomas comes in, hurrying in, excited to see him. Alfred tucks the pin into his coat.
Alfred, I can't believe it. You actually came. Stanley, why don't you take us back to the guest quarters? The one overlooking the gardens.
Right away, Master Wayne.
Stanley takes Alfred's bag and excuses himself. Alfred looks around.
I guess medical tech is big business. Quite the place you've built, Thomas.
Ha! You give me too much credit. Old family heirloom. My great-grandfather built it. I could only hope to be half the man he was. Come in. Let me introduce you to the missus.
Thomas leads Alfred in. Interior, Wayne Manor Ballroom. There are people everywhere celebrating and drinking champagne.
I read up on your opponent. Sounds like a questionable character.
The incumbent, yes. He's busted the unions and controls half the judges in City Hall. But he's not good for Gotham.
I see you're celebrating. A little prematurely. Election isn't over for a few days yet.
The polls say we're a lock.
What does that say about pride coming before the fall? I wouldn't drop my guard until the fight is over.
Martha Wayne comes over to join them.
The fight's never truly over. I'm of the philosophy that one should enjoy the moment while we can. After all, once Thomas is elected, that's when the real fight truly begins.
Alfred, I'd like you to meet my wife and campaign manager.
Alfred cuts off Thomas.
And advocate for the rights of the mentally ill, Martha Wayne, a pleasure.
An
Alfred
honor. Sorry.
Alfred shakes Martha's hand.
An honor. After all these years, I finally get to meet the man who saved my husband's life. We owe you so much, Alfred.
I may have saved Thomas in Vietnam, but he's the one who saved me once we returned home. They say I never would have walked again if it wasn't for the miraculous work as my surgeon. I owe my life, Miss Wayne.
Martha, please. Oh, and you have to meet Bruce.
Martha turns, looking at Bruce. Looking for Bruce. Oh boy.
Bruce? One moment. Excuse me. Bruce!
Martha goes looking for Bruce further. Once the men are alone, Alfred turns to Thomas and talks to him in private.
You have a lot to lose, don't you?
What?
Do you think the death threats from your are from your political opponents?
They're from everywhere. It comes with the territory.
Don't be coy with me. You called me because you wanted someone in security you could trust. That means you're having concerns about the people closest to you. The people who are in this house right now.
It's our friends, the Elliots. Good people. Their son is friends with our son.
And you suspect they're behind the threats. Are they here now?
No. They're in the hospital. Caught in a car wreck just last week.
I'm sorry to hear that. And the boy?
He wasn't with them, thankfully.
Terrible accident.
On the contrary, that's why I called you. It wasn't an accident. Their brake lines were cut. The police have no leads.
And you think whoever is responsible might be the death threats you're getting now?
I have no reason to think so, but it didn't sit right with me. Apparently, the Isley family felt the same. As soon as it happened, they sent their daughter Pamela to boarding school, just in case. Took a cue from the Cobblepots who shipped their boy Oswald off to Europe every year.
They're taking precautions, as should you.
Bruce runs over to Thomas, tugging his sleeve. Martha is chasing after him with his jacket.
Come on, Dad!
Bruce, no running.
But we're gonna be late!
Bruce runs off.
Bruce, your jacket!
Martha goes after him.
Late?
I promised Bruce we'd take him to a movie. He's been dying to see it.
You shouldn't be going out right now.
We go out every Sunday as a family. That's not going to change, especially now. Between the hospital and the campaign, he hasn't seen as much of us, and I want to make it up to him.
You don't have a choice.
Yes, I do.
I'll come with you.
After the election, Alfred. I appreciate the concern, but my family comes first. I want Bruce to have a normal life.
You call this normal? Living in a gilded palace with butlers and maids and cooks? You don't know what normal is. You never have. Life's ugly outside your Garden of Eden.
The house has gone silent. Thomas calmly responds.
I know how ugly life can be. Or have you forgotten?
You were a surgeon, not a soldier!
I was both!
Thomas looks over to the door, where Martha was waiting for him, along with Bruce, who is wearing his jacket now. Thomas looks back at Alfred.
They're waiting for me. Please, Make yourself at home.
Thomas turns and walks out the door with his family. Alfred looks after him, regretting his outburst. Exterior, Monarch Theater. Front. The Monarch Theater sign reads, "The Gray Ghost." The Wayne limousine pulls up. Stanley parks and comes around to open the passenger door. Bruce hops out, too excited to contain himself.
We're here! We're here!
Thomas jumps out and grabs Bruce, stopping him.
Hold on. Here, go pick out some snacks.
Okay.
Thomas hands Bruce money. Bruce takes it and runs inside. Thomas turns to the car and puts out his hand for Martha. Martha takes it and gets out of the car.
Goodness, he's a bundle of energy, as always.
Thomas smiles at Martha and she at him. They share a sweet, quick kiss. Interior, Monarch Theater, screen room. Thomas and Martha walk inside. Bruce is waiting for them in the aisle with popcorn and candy.
Don't stand in the aisle, darling. You'll block others.
Sorry. Can we sit in the first row?
It's a little close.
Please, 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 please!
Oh, let him. It'll be fun.
Thomas shrugs.
Yes!
Bruce runs excitingly to the first row and sits down. Thomas and Martha come over and sit on either side of him. The lights dim and the opening credits begin to roll.
Basil Karlo is in this. He's a real actor.
As opposed to what?
I'm just surprised. Didn't expect to see him in a kid's action flick.
What is justice? There are those that believe it to be the rule of law. Others contend that there can be no justice without freedom, including from the tyranny of law. I've even heard it said that the true nature of justice is unknowable by man in all his flaws and limitations. We are each our own island, and what is justice to one is injustice to another. Perhaps it doesn't exist at all. Nothing but a fantasy invented by man to comfort themselves against the chaos of a cold, unfeeling universe. As for me, I believe justice is real, though intangible. It is all around us, but fleeting, lest we pursue it and fight to preserve it. Not unlike a phantom. I am that phantom, a specter not of light nor of shadow, but of something in between. A gray ghost.
The Gray Ghost. Bruce squeals in anticipation. He's having the time of his life. Interior, Wayne Manor, Alfred's room, bathroom. Alfred sighs, washing his hands. He looks at himself in the mirror, full of guilt, so terrified.
Tired.
Yes, tired. He's tired.
Terrified of how tired he looks.
Terrifyingly tired.
Just like all of us.
Oh, you look a fright, old boy. Let's see if we can look more presentable so we don't embarrass Thomas again.
Then he puts some shaving cream on the palm of his hand and spreads it on his beard. He takes a razor and starts to shave. He has a pair of scissors by the sink, ready to give his hair a little trim as well. Monarch Theater, screen room. The screen suddenly goes dark. As the dimmed lights, the audience murmurs in protest.
The lights? Seriously?
Come on, I paid money for this.
Oh,
Where's my
jeez.
refund? I can't believe this.
That movie sucked.
An usher comes in with a flashlight.
Hey, I'm sorry, folks. Power's out. Can everyone please exit this way? Theater is offering full refunds for everyone.
Thomas?
Okay, let's just get back to the car, Martha.
Maybe they'll fix it.
Come on, Bruce.
Another usher comes over to the Waynes as they stand.
You can exit to the front here, Mr. and Mrs. Wayne.
Thank you, but we're all right exiting with everyone else.
There's another theater by the mall. Maybe we can still see it.
We'll come back next weekend, sweetheart.
But I want to see it tonight.
Bruce tosses his popcorn to the ground and runs out the front exit.
Bruce!
Monarch Theater. Crime Alley. Bruce runs through the alley. Turning a corner, he bumps into a shifty man as he runs by.
Hey, watch where you're going, kid.
Bruce stops and turns to the man.
Who's gonna make me? My parents are the richest people in Gotham.
The shifty man turns around to face Bruce.
You're the Wayne kid.
Thomas and Martha come hurrying around the corner.
Bruce!
The shift man is holding Bruce captive with a gun to his head.
Dad?
Shut up.
Martha starts crying.
No. Please.
Don't hurt him. We'll give you whatever you want. Here.
Thomas takes out his wallet and offers it to the man, approaching him slowly, cautiously.
Let me see your hands.
Thomas drops the wallet on the ground and does as he's told, putting his hands up.
Back up.
Thomas does so.
Please. You don't have to do this. We can help you.
The shifty man looks at them.
Pearls too. Pass them over.
Martha realizes he means the pearls around her neck. She reaches up to undo the clasp, but her hands are trembling.
I said now!
I'm trying!
The shifty man throws Bruce aside and lunges forward to grab the pearls himself. Martha screams. Thomas goes for it and tries to grab the gun. The shifty man shoots them both. Bruce, on the cold, filthy ground, stares at his parents' bloodied bodies. The shifty man comes over and points the gun at Bruce's face. Bruce looks up at him, helpless, tears welling in his eyes. It starts to rain. The shifty man looks up. The shifty man looks up.
Ah, hell.
The shifty man grabs the wallet and runs, leaving Bruce there.
Mom?
Bruce crawls over to his parents. The rain runs down his cheeks and like tears. Not knowing what to do, he lies down between them. It starts to pour as the sound of the colors and police sirens engulf him. Interior, Wayne Manor, Alfred's room. Bathroom. Alfred is finished trimming his hair. A maid knocks on the door.
Phone for you, sir.
Alfred opens the door and walks into the room. Interior, Wayne Manor, Alfred's room. Alfred sees the maid holding the corded phone beside his bed for him.
Thank you. I'll take it from here.
He takes the phone. She nods and leaves.
Hello, this is Alfred Pennyworth. I'm on the way.
Alfred slams the phone as he hangs up. Gotham Police Department. Bullpen. Detective Jim Gordon hangs up the phone and rubs his temples.
Christ.
He looks over to where Bruce is sitting, soaked from the rain and with the blood stains from lying near his parents. He's shivering. A couple police officers beside him talk to loudly.
I mean, can you believe it? $1 billion. And that's just cash. He's got assets. He's got Wayne Enterprises. The kid's set for life.
Sign me up. All my old man ever gave me was a whooping.
They laugh. Gordon gets furious. He stands up and storms over.
The hell is wrong with you? He's a child who just watched his parents get stolen from him in cold blood. You want to shut your damn mouths and go find your human decency before I report you?
Oh, God. Sorry, Jim.
We were just having some fun. We didn't mean nothing by it.
Gordon glares at them. The officers leave. Gordon goes over to Bruce and kneels to meet him eye-to-eye level.
Hey there, son. What's your name? You're right. Dumb question. You're Bruce Wayne. Everyone knows that. You look cold. Here.
Gordon takes off his trench coat and wraps it around Bruce.
Can I get you anything? Juice? Cocoa?
Bruce says nothing, just pulls the coat around himself tighter.
I know. I'm sorry, kid. Look, you see this badge here? I'm a police detective. You know what that means. I may not be able to bring your parents back, but I can find the scumbag that's responsible. I won't rest until I do. I promise you. Okay?
Bruce sniffles and nods, then throws himself into Gordon's arms. Gordon holds him as Bruce sobs, rubbing his boy's back.
There now. There. It's gonna be okay.
We pan away from them, to the window, to the captain's office. The blinds are shut. Interior, Gotham Police Department, Captain's office.
I want to interject for one thing. There's a character here who, Grace Gordon, who Alina has just joined us, and she was going to be voicing. So, Alina, if you want to say hi real quick. If your mic's working. Alina?
Lena?
She did say she was having audio issues.
I also want to make a note. I know, Cloudy, that you're mostly doing the even-numbered extras, but you might want to do the police officer here because there's also a dude called Nathaniel Barnes here who I think Cade's probably going to be doing.
Okay, no problem.
But I don't know if Alina's audio is working, so Steph, I might ask you to do Grace Gordon if Alina's audio doesn't come in time.
Okie dokes.
Captain Nathaniel Gordon. I'm oh my god. There's too many.
Alternate universe.
We're too many Gordons.
There's too many police officers in this police academy.
Oh, snap diddle. There's Gordon Freeman.
Hello, Gordon.
Okay.
Expecting you.
Seriously,
Yeah,
guys. Captain Nathaniel Barnes sits at his desk. A social worker, Grace Gordon, goes over forms. Alfred walks in, led by a police officer.
Captain Barnes? I thought I was doing
Can anyone hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's working.
Is it okay? Is there a lot of noise? Is it?
No,
you're good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's do
I
it.
went for him because 3 was an odd number, and I thought I was the odd people.
Yeah, Kate, I said that she should have that one because you're going to be Captain.
Okay, I missed that part, sorry.
Captain Barnes, this is Alfred Pennyworth.
I know there were death threats made. I want a list.
We know. We checked your background. U.S. Army, the Royal Marines, MI6, and the security firm you worked for in Seoul, Korea. Quite an accomplished life you've led. But obviously, we're handling this investigation.
I don't understand. Why call me if you don't want my help?
We need to talk to you about something else.
Who the devil are you?
Mr. Pennyworth, this is Grace Gordon, social worker.
What business does a social worker have with me?
Did you know the Waynes named you as their son's legal guardian in the event something happened to them?
Legal guardian? I'm not a parent. I don't know anything about children. I just want to know who killed Thomas and Martha.
Leave that to the police, Pennyworth. That's our job.
Oh, and my job is to sort out what happens to this poor boy. He won't talk to anyone. He hasn't eaten anything.
Where is he now?
Grace goes over to the window and opens the blinds to show Bruce in Gordon's arms, sobbing.
With my husband. He's the detective there.
There has to be someone else who can watch over him.
Thomas and Martha Wayne were the last of their respective families. There is no one else.
What happens if I say no?
He goes to child services and into foster care. I work for the system, Mr. Pennyworth. I know it well. If it were up to me, I would never send another child into that meat grinder again. Especially not one who has suffered the trauma he just suffered.
Alfred looks at Bruce as Gordon puts the boy back in his chair and tries to wipe the blood, rainwater, and tears off his face. Interior, Gordon household. James and Grace Gordon come out of the rain. James is soaked due to not having his trench coat. The babysitter comes up to them holding a sleeping infant.
Hey, I heard about what happened on the news. How totally awful.
Thank you for staying late on such short notice, Alicia.
Of course, little Jamie was no trouble at all. Slept like a baby.
James put his arms out for the baby. The babysitter hands the baby to him.
Huh. At least someone's getting sleep tonight.
Mr. Gordon, you're soaking wet. You lose your coat or something?
Huh? No, don't worry about it. You head on home safely, okay?
Will do. Have a good night.
The babysitter leaves.
What did happen to your coat?
I gave it to the Wayne kid.
James holds the baby close to his chest.
God knows I wouldn't want my son being left out in the cold.
Grace gives him a loving look and reaches up to kiss him, rubbing his back. Interior, Wayne Manor, dining room. Alfred and Bruce sit at the table, across from each other. Bruce is still wearing Gordon's trench coat. There's a plate of food, a glass of milk, a cup of coffee in front of him. Bruce only stares down at his lap, seemingly chaotic. Alfred runs. Seemingly catatonic.
It's been a chaotic night, though.
It has been. Oh my God. Alfred runs his hand over his face. Alfred's own face. Stressed out and at a loss.
Listen, Bruce, you have to eat something.
Bruce looks up at Alfred, tear-filled eyes glaring with disdain.
Who the hell are you?
I'm...
Alfred exhales, thinking about it, then straightens his chair.
I'm your butler.
You already have a butler. Stanley.
Stanley was employed by your parents. He and the rest of the staff have already taken their severance and left.
Then why are you still here?
Because, as I said, I am your butler. Your parents tasked me with serving you. I don't wish to disappoint them, so if you'd be so kind, Bruce.
Don't you mean Master Bruce?
Alfred frowns, but he goes with it.
Forgive me. You're right. So, if you'll be so kind, Master Bruce.
Alfred stands and goes over Bruce's side.
Kindly eat something so I may continue to serve you, as they wanted me to.
Bruce looks up at Alfred. He's skeptical, but he doesn't want to let his parents down. He looks down at his food. It's a plate of chicken, green vegetables, and mashed potatoes with gravy.
I can't eat this. I feel sick.
Alfred nods, taking the plate away and wrapping it up.
Understandable. I can hardly blame you. Is there anything you think you could eat?
Bruce thinks about it as Alfred cleans up.
Can I have a popsicle?
Alfred pauses as he's putting the food in the fridge. He then closes the fridge and checks the freezer.
It looks like there's 2 left. 1 orange and 1 berry. Which would you like?
Can't I have both?
Alfred grabs both and brings them over to him.
Just this once. Come now. Let's get you cleaned up.
Bruce takes both of them, then lets Alfred pick him up, resting his head on Bruce's shoulder.
Should have been Alfred's shoulder. That was my bad. I typoed that. That was me.
Oh no, what'd you do? Alfred carries Bruce. Was that right?
Yes, you were correct. That was my
Typo! No!
Happens to the best of writers.
That popsicle thing got me. That was good.
You like that? Yeah. Well, I want both of my parents. Cry.
I've got my comments, but I'll leave those for later.
I'm not accepting beautiful compliments at this time.
Interior, Wayne Manor, Bruce's room. Later. Bow chicka bow wow. No, bad.
Excuse
I know. I'm horrible. I'm horrible.
You've officially drank too much.
No,
and think of
This is me.
I'm
stumbling on
saying,
my
man,
own.
this is an emotional scene. And
Okay,
never mind.
Hey. Okay, so later. Alfred tucks. God damn you guys. Okay. Alfred tucks Bruce into bed. Bruce is freshly bathed in and clean PJs.
There we are. Try and get some rest.
Alfred stands to go to Bruce's reaches. And yeah, punctuation. Alfred stands to go, but Bruce reaches out and grabs his hand.
Don't leave. I'm scared.
Alfred is uncomfortable, but he can't bear to leave this terrified child alone. So he sits down beside him in the bed.
As you wish, Master Bruce.
Alfred puts an arm around him, and Bruce cuddles into his side.
I'm at your disposal.
I can't sleep.
I suppose children like bedtime stories, correct? I don't think any of my stories are age appropriate, unfortunately.
I like the Grey Ghost.
Ah, the superhero. I used to read his comic books when I was younger. I think I can remember a story or 2 of his. Let's see here. He is a spectre of neither light nor darkness. Rather, he inhabits the penumbra, the space between. He is the Grey Ghost. He is not afraid, and neither should you be.
Fade to black. End.
I can't hold down my button and applause.
I have to say, everyone did their characters so well. James, I know that you said that you haven't really voice acted. I think this was really your first thing you voice acted for. I think that your Thomas was so improved from the first time I heard you try it. So, dude, awesome job. I think you deserve applause for like going outside your comfort zone.
No, it's commendable. Absolutely.
And honestly, everyone did so well.
Oh,
I mean,
I
Paige,
love the
with all the
Gordon voice.
voices you were doing for the extras. Cloudy, I know you were like, I'm not a voice actor, but you also
I was super nervous.
You were great. You were funny. You and Kate had lots of like chemistry when you were being the cops and like being shitty people. Like it was great.
Yes,
I
I
love
enjoyed
the
snarling
shifty
at
man.
him.
That was
Like, if I could
that was
say,
my
like,
first time acting since I was like in middle school.
I loved your Grace. She sounded so fucking tired, but like she still gave a shit even though she was so exhausted. Like that's what she sounded like. She was perfect. Like
I'm
it's
glad
hard
that I
to care.
conveyed that.
It's hard. It's hard to care when you're that tired, and it really showed that she was exhausted but trying. So like you were awesome. Kate,
I
like
was here too, guys.
all of your voices were awesome. Like I loved your Stan. It's not easy to compete with Alfred. Like I know everyone's probably sitting there like, I'm Team Alfred. Who the fuck is this Stanley? But it was great. All of your voices. Carl, like just to show why you are Batman. Like that voice. Like even when we were all stumbling over shit and fucking things up, like. Oh my god, your voice sets the tone like nothing else.
Yeah, that would have been great if you
Hey,
got
I'm here
script
for
more
you.
than that would
I
have
can
been
imagine like Bruce reading this to like maybe like to Terry or something.
Yeah.
Terry's like, please stop telling me your memoirs, old man. He's like, quiet. Anyway,
You were gonna hear the rantings of this old man for ages on until I'm dead, you little shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna check these memoirs and you're gonna like it.
Remember when?
Did I do okay with the crying and the screaming?
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to
No, you're
everyone.
brilliant.
So I'm
Brilliant.
still going down the list. So Dylan, your Alfred was he had that like British gentleman thing going on with the polish and everything, but he also had a kind of a darker edge to him. I really loved the character. I could see the moments where he's barely containing anger. I felt his regret afterwards. I felt his frustration with having to try to be nurturing when he had no idea what to do. Like, you were Très Magnifique, and I loved him.
Thank you.
Also, oddly hot. Like, that was kind of weird out there.
No.
I agree.
I mean, I'll
totally
admit, I was a
imagine-
bit turned on by your Alfred too. and
Yeah.
where he was
Just
at.
imagine like the
That's-
turtleneck and the leather jacket.
Nice job. Nice job.
Over
That
here.
scenes where he's grooming
Complete
himself,
fish
that
out of
scene where he's
water
grooming
for a
himself,
very
like,
familiar character. My God.
And Mickey, you're Bruce. So many times I wanted to cry just hearing you doing your crying.
wanted to hug
Yes, you were the perfect one to
Adorable.
be the main focus of this
This
episode.
is
That was
why,
really good.
if
Great
any of you
emotion.
were like, why didn't Lucia do Kid Bruce herself? She always do kids' voices. And I'm like, because Mickey, it just breaks your heart. She
She
just
is really
breaks your
good.
heart.
Good shit. Good shit.
I was like, no, I'm gonna do the shitty kid because Mickey's gonna be the one that tears our hearts out. We all want to.
I wasn't too loud, right?
No, you were.
No, you were good.
And
Excellent.
if anyone got loud enough, I adjusted their volume to match everyone else's on my side.
Thank
Excellent.
you, Dylan, for MVPing that. Joel, I know that you're not as familiar with the characters as some of us. You were nervous, but I cast you as Gordon specifically, not just because you've played detectives in the past and it's like a funny gag, but like I know that you being kind of a family person, a father especially. I just felt like that would be something that would resonate with you. Someone kind of worrying about what the world's coming to and what your kids are gonna have to live there for. And I think that it really showed your ability to be warm, your outrage at how terrible the world can be, feeling like you're the last decent person sometimes at work. Like,
Not to mention, your voice profile was perfect for the character. Whoa!
this is
Absolutely.
That is why I like with everyone else. I was like, everybody pick what you want to play. But with Joel, I was like, hey Joel, no, but you're Gordon though.
I mean, I didn't get to pick who I wanted to play.
That's true.
I didn't either. I was built for it.
That man didn't choose me.
You have the perfect intersection between like that textured, hard-boiled detective gruff sound, but also that kind of like warmer, paternal, full-bodied voice that I just think really fits for a character like that. The character of only good cop in the world. Sophie, oh my god, I'm glad I was on Push to Talk because you're Basil Karlo as the Grey Ghost, as Adam West as the Grey Ghost.
Yeah, Steph.
That was
Oh my
really
God.
good.
Sophie, oh my god. I kept alternating between squealing and laughing because it was both like epic and funny, which was exactly what I wanted it to be, like cheesy superhero, early superhero type movie. And I mean, this is why you're Basil Karlo, because you're such a character actor, you can do any role, and that's exactly what you'll be as Clayface.
Oh, thank you.
Steph, oh my gosh, it's crazy to me that you're not a kids person because you had such a oh my boy, I so felt that I could basically hear you licking a handkerchief and wiping his face. I could just hear it in your voice.
It helps. I don't know. I just based it off of my cats. I was like, what would I do if my cats were in this situation?
Oh my gosh, but you still have.
I'm a firm
Farmed kitten.
It's funny because James's Thomas didn't sound as sophisticated as your Martha, but it worked because I totally got the sense that these two probably went to a really nice school, and Martha was this total lady, and James was probably the fucking jock.
So Lucia,
Sorry,
real
not
quick.
He had muscles.
It was great.
So real quick,
Thank you.
Lucia.
Yeah.
The police captain, Barnes or whatever his was. My voice for that was a James Horan impression.
Oh, you know what? Now that you say it, I can hear it. I didn't even think of it.
James Horan.
Voice actor.
Okay.
He's one of his biggest things. He's Skullface from Metal Gear Solid 5. He was in.
Oh my
He's in
God.
the 7 remake. He's
Ooh.
President Shinra in FF7 remake.
I'm such a person that's I keep up way too much with teeny bopper stuff. I was like, is he Niall's dad?
But lastly, Serpent Slayer John, you're I know you came last minute to come kill.
Okay.
But I love that he was the perfect combination of every Arkham game goon ever, amalgamated.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm walking here. But he got genuinely scary, and I actually heard some shades of Heath Ledger's Joker there, that not in a cartoony joking way, but in a serious kind of scary way, that I thought were really, really good in there. And for a character that didn't have that much time, it was really great how solid and tense that scene became of how you played him. So
Do you want to know what my two choices in my head were that I was battling between?
Which
Go
one?
for it.
That voice or Christopher Walken?
I'm glad. Oh my god.
Hello. Part of me wants to hear Christopher Walken version.
Yeah, seriously, same.
Why not?
I mean,
give
we
us
are
a
live.
little taste of it.
We
I
are
can do
still
it.
live.
I could zoom back up real quick and do it. Oh
Please,
god.
please.
Yeah, we have a little bit of time
Do
to
it. Do it now.
Oh, if we don't have time, I don't have
No,
to.
no,
do it.
no. I said we do have time before we do
Oh,
episode
we do have time. Okay, all right. Then all right, I'm scrolling back up in. Okay, here we go. Hey, watch where you're going, kid. You're the main kid. Shut up.
This is so ridiculous.
No, let
That's
me
the thing,
see your
that's-
hands.
That's a pretty good Christopher
Toss
Walken
them over.
impression.
It said we have 10 viewers.
I do have to admit, as wonderful as that is, it would have been so much harder for me to go no!
Oh yeah, no, I knew it would ruin the scene, but it's one of those things where the impression would ruin the scene. If Christopher Walken was actually here, it would have been terrifying.
Please, Christopher Walken, don't start
Christopher
walking
Walken
over
just
here.
shows up in the
So-
chat.
It says that there's guys.
Oh no! What?
Yes, we're listening.
Yes.
It says that there's 10 people in there, but I don't know if there really are, or if
they're
that's
us.
all of us in there. But if there are people in the chat, I want to ask everybody vote which was your MVP character of this round.
Of this round? Oh god, it's a
Hello, all
competition.
10 people
Oh.
in chat.
We have a standard to keep.
Oh, it says
Ooh.
12
Have a
now.
chat room now?
Hello,
Yeah.
all 12
Don't be
people in
walking
chat.
out on us now.
Which is the chat room? Is that Thunderdome?
The Twitch one. It says we have 12 viewers on Twitch.
In the
I think
Twitch.
most of them are
on
probably
Twitch.
just us
I'm not
having
watching
travel.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the
Yeah, I
top
think most
right,
of them are just us.
I'm pulling
but
it
still.
up now.
So
I've
far,
never
the
had
people in
viewers
the chat
before.
are Lucia, Lobosvilla, Mayoyasha, Queen Mickey the Master, the Ass Master. I'm sorry, I
Sass Master.
imply that.
Master.
Can't vote. Was gone for a long period.
Carl G. Vox, Commander
That-
Root,
Oh,
get
that's me.
affiliated _now, which I'm assuming is a bot.
I just joined, only for the sake that I was reading stuff. Little Bruce was adorable, though.
James
Little
Van
Bruce was
Riley,
adorable.
Yep, that's
Kiki
me.
the hippie,
Oh,
Kira,
Kira. Kira is one of my friends.
Kira voted for Carl because she knows him. Spike Sweets voted for
Wow.
Baby Bruce. So it looks like both of the Batman, older Batman and younger Batman, won. And this is a Batman
Yay!
discrimination. Okay, all right, Batman privilege.
We'll have to turn it up.
All right.
She waves in taco. That's great.
Guys,
Yeah.
It's a taco emoji.
That's beautiful.
can
I
you guys
know,
hear
it's
me?
glorious.
Yes,
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
we hear you. We hear you. We hear you.
Kiki's one of my really good friends, and I sent her the link, and I'm really happy she showed up. So hi, Kiki.
Shout out to Kiki. What's up,
More
Kiki?
tacos. Oh my god.
Okay. So we voted for win MVP of the round, and it seems it was Carl and Mickey. Audience, what is favorite scene?
Ooh.
Popsicle scene.
Popsicle scene. Last popsicle scene.
So many
Oh,
tacos.
This is gonna be one of those things where, you know, when you're a fan of something, like you have like certain moments when you see mundane things. If fans of us, they're gonna see popsicles and just start bursting into tears randomly.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that read. I was so worried that it was just people weren't going to even think about it because it was so long from the first scene. We're like,
Oh no, that was perfect.
Me
The
personally.
first, okay, so the first scene, I was like, well, this is a really
Gone.
interesting detail, you know, to show the love between the parents and Bruce. And I was like, but whatever. And then the second popsicle scene came up, and I was like, oh shit, with the follow up.
I mean, honestly,
I
for
really
me,
like the
Tried
ube
to break
taco.
your hearts with that one.
I mean, for me, it was. I mean, everyone can point at the popsicles, but either between Bruce's family or Alfred and Bruce. But it really has to be for me the introduction for Alfred to come in, and you called me here, and they go through their scene, and it's just so fresh. It really is. It's so fresh.
I don't
that-
think I've ever seen Alfred and Thomas meet again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen it in a comic.
Let me, just because I was
from Earth 1, which has Alfred like come back like that, but that scene I felt was very short and didn't really give us much info at all about how they know each other or anything. So I kind of fleshed it out and gave him the whole thing. And it was completely my thing where he's like, "Oh, you're not a soldier, you were a surgeon," and Thomas being like, "Dude, the fuck? Like I was both. Like I probably saw more blood than you, dude, because I had to do it both ways."
Because I was just an audience member in this one, I didn't have a role yet. Can I cast my vote for Kiwi as Alfred? Because
Yes!
was, in my opinion, best
Aha!
Yeah, that
That was really good.
Yeah,
nice.
I was in
You were definitely my second favorite. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was in
I was hoping Southern Cop would win some people over. You just can't please anybody with these Yankees.
Okay, that's not Southern.
But my favorite was
All right. Can I
Yeah,
be the
that's-
next person to say that Kiwi was a great Alfred? If no one has,
She's a
if
great
everyone's already said it, I thought it was my turn to say it. Kiwi was a fantastic Alfred, and I loved it.
No.
Like,
Spot on.
like,
Loved
I don't know anything about the Batman franchise, and I've only met this guy. I've only known this guy for like, okay, I know Batman parents dead, Joker bad, super rich, blah blah blah. Okay, all I got so far is I've known this man for like an hour, but I would die for him.
Correct.
I have a very in-depth description of Alfred that Lucia's read that I would love to share with you.
Yes, I would love for them to hear your version of Alfred because I actually really liked him. Also, I want to say, Kiwi, I think you won the prize today for most fuckable Alfred.
It's well deserved.
It is.
Before we
I agree.
get super serious, I want to get one more joke out.
Go for it.
Trying to tell the Southerner what is and isn't Southern.
So I also was not in the reading of the first script, but I would definitely want to say that Kiwi's Alfred was perfection.
Ah,
Magnifique.
my heart! You make me swoon.
I think we definitely have our fan favorite.
I think we had such an excellent
favorite.
cast. Like everybody really brought it, and I'm really happy that we have such a range here from people who are professional VAs that do this as their job, to people who are experienced but are mostly hobbyists, to people who have never acted before tonight, and everyone brought games. So like everybody deserves applause.
Great job, everyone. Seriously, you all wowed me with some of the things.
Good job.
I can't really
everybody.
clap because push to talk, but I'm clapping in spirit.
I'm slapping my knee.
Just like pat your chest, roll out.
I'm just gonna tap my mic.
I'm like slapping my arm in front of the mic, if that counts.
Push the talk and then tap your mic.
Dirty.
I just want to say that Sophie technically only had one part in the whole thing, but I really, really loved that entire monologue, both the way Lucia wrote it and the way that Sophie performed it.
It felt like I was watching an old black and white movie, like my grandfather used to watch all the time.
Thank you.
But at the same time, had some like original Sam Raimi Spider-Man vibes. With, like,
I love
Yeah,
Sam
yeah.
Raimi so much.
Oh, Alina, you sound far.
Alina, you're too quiet.
Yeah, Alina, you're really quiet.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm far away from the mic. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yes, perfect.
I totally believe that was from like an actual movie, and I had to look it up to find that the Grey Ghost is actually just from BTAS.
Sophie, you did so well. I'm so excited to see like Basil like more Clayface stuff.
Yeah, I love
Thank
Basil.
you.
I think one of my favorite things from Rebirth has been him actually having a
semi-redemption
turn.
Yes.
That
his
has
rebirth
been
arc
great.
is yes.
So, if you guys like this episode, in a while here we're gonna start episode 2, which is way gayer than this one. Like, it's super gay.
Hello.
Lucia. Of course it's going to be gayer. I'm in it.
Like I said,
Snap,
We're
snap.
already hella gay because we've already got a bunch of queer folks in here, which beautiful. But this is
Fabulous.
because more queer folks in it, and on top of it, Harvey bisexual Dent. So
Oh, jiggy.
So, I wanna call him Harvey Bident.
Yes.
Do I have to
Two-Face
reinterpret
clearly
the verse I'm
has to
gonna
be
do?
a little more flamboyant than my face.
So,
but
I
by the
wanna
coin.
say something that was really interesting was when I was figuring out how to cast this and all, and like a lot of it was just people volunteering. It was like, yeah, you'll be great, but there were a few people I specifically asked. But for this script, obviously, to do little baby Bruce and Tommy, it was like, oh, Mickey and I will do it. You know, have girls do little boy voices like you usually do. But with the next script, Bruce and Harvey and all them are like 13. That age where your voices change. and
Pubescent.
it sound kind of weird, and Mickey and I were still doing those kinds of voices, you know. And I was like, but I don't think I don't want a guy with like a big deep voice, so I don't want the guy that I'm thinking about casting Harvey either because they're still young.
Doing something
And
really
then-
high, but not really. But
And thank God I have this server filled with voice actors, some with lighter voices, my beautiful like non-binary and trans friends too, who are like, hey, if you need someone in transition, like I'm in transition, so you know, technically.
that's what puberty is.
Yeah,
Transition.
exactly. It's like, hey, I'm going through that right now, so we got a character going through that. So like, love my friends. Thank you. Beautiful.
I do want to say as well, we are obviously a little bit slow with the read, but there's also the consideration with going through these episodes, there is a certain pacing that will happen if everything was properly recorded and done without any stammering or without any stepping over each other's lines a little bit accidentally, things like that. So going back to the popsicle thing, I think that would be the perfect amount of time between the original reference to it and then the end of it. And I think a lot of the pacing was really well done. Great work, Lucia. You've written this perfectly, and I'm so excited to be part of this.
Oh my God, thank
I
you.
agree.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, this is really great.
Yes, I'm enjoying
I'm,
it. I agree.
I'm super. I had high expectations, but I also I have they been exceeded.
We all know Lucia. So
Oh no.
Hooray!
Beyond further literary criticism, the Chekhov's gun use here was very good.
Bang,
I can't wait to disappoint you all spectacularly.
It'll be fabulous.
Impossible.
Thank you in advance. Woo!
I look forward to all of you. Just like
I'll walk down the runway with you, Lucia. Let's go.
Impossible.
But yeah,
Lucia, if you disappoint me, you'll be just like every other deep relationship I've ever had, so it's okay.
Oh,
Damn.
thank you.
Oh, I made myself sad.
Lucia's like, I'm a deep relationship.
You care about me enough to be disappointed by me? Oh my God.
I care enough to want to film this. That's my criticism.
Oh my gosh. I actually legitimately, if we all want to like go to a booth and like record this like nicely.
I mean, I'm in my booth right now.
I mean, so am I.
I'm getting
so-
plywood to build the one for me as well.
I'm not in a booth, but I have one.
I don't have one, but I'll go to Carl's house because he has one.
All right.
But yeah, the title, by the way, in Here in the Garden, is a reference to the Garden of Eden, as you may have noticed from Alfred saying, like, "Hey, bro, like, look at your perfect Garden of Eden here. You don't know what's out there." And of course, what happens with the Garden of Eden, the fall, which Alfred also predicts. Hey, pride cometh before the fall. And
Since I'm a more minor character in the next episode, I'm going to switch to my mobile equipment instead.
no worries.
Switch to
I'll
your
see you in a few
audience
minutes.
mode so you can vote.
Righto.
I'm such a
Precisely.
huge
Garden.
nerd. I'm such
Let's
a huge
play a
nerd
game.
that when I saw the title, my brain went, "Here in the garden."
That's
Let's
where I
play a
was.
game.
Same.
Oh
From Steven
no.
Universe.
You'll notice. What does the episode start with?
A game.
Hold on. What does it start with? Because I closed it out.
Cops
It
and
starts
robbers.
with them. It starts with them playing a game in the garden.
Oh shit! Wait, are we allowed to curse?
Snap!
I'll show you how it's done. And if you know the characters, you know that one of them leaves the other one behind. So,
Oh dang! I didn't
Wink.
even.
You caught it. Wink.
My brain didn't even connect that. Like, it just saw the title and was like, "Oh, okay, time to be a huge nerd."
Just wait until Tommy Elliot becomes Hush and he sees Batman with all his Robins and shit, and he's like,
Wait, Tom and
"That's
Elliot
right, I
becomes
heard
Hush?
the story. Don't really like how it ends, boy. It's swell to finally meet your other
Well, to
friend."
finally meet those other friends.
Tim's
That's
just
right, I heard the story. Not really like how it ends.
You may have not noticed it, but your brain there.
But your brain there. So episode 2 is called Lost and Found, and it is continuing the trend of that kind of like literary reference, biblical thing, because Lost, like Paradise Lost, which is, what Bruce has lost. But Lost and Found is also what most of us would associate with school. School is where we had Lost and Founds mostly, right?
Mhm.
So as you can guess, there's going to be some Bruce Wayne school hijinks. So I'm looking forward to that. Alina, you are going to join us again as Grace Gordon, I believe, for this one.
I saw that.
Let me take a look at the cast for this one really quick so I can introduce
Are we
everyone.
getting Chris in here, or
Do you want me to
We're gonna
do
do-
another separate recording for this one?
Yeah, we need to switch the title card. So I think what I'll do is
we
why don't
may
we
need to restart the stream if that's
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah, we will. I think we
and
should
also in that case, I need a bathroom break.
Yeah, let's take a
oh
quick
my
break.
god.
Let's take like a
Everyone
10-minute
take their bathroom breaks.
See,
Yeah,
in theater, this is what is called
10-minute break.
intermission.
and meet back here in 10 minutes to go live again.
Perfect.
You wanna
Alright,
go
sounds
live
good.
at the half-hour mark, just to make it like an even.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll come back live at the half-hour mark. Everyone, tell everyone on Twitter that episode 2 is going to be even gayer. So, yeah. Bye.
All right.
Yay!
Stopping the recording now.